The presence of Chidinma, Ike's sister, became a thorn in Tima's flesh. She constantly lied against her and reported her to her mom and sisters. They would gossip and laugh at Tima and then plan on what next to do to humiliate her. Though Chidinma and her sisters were married, they usually visited Ike's house regularly just to humiliate Tima. Chidinma would lie against Tima, and when Ike returned, he didn't bother to hear or listen to Tima's side of the story, but he would beat her up. One hot afternoon, while Ike was at work, while Tima was washing the dishes, Chidinma took the pot of food Tima had prepared for Ike and poured it on the floor. She knew it was almost time for Ike to return, so she did it because she knew Ike would beat her up if he returned and didn't see his food ready at the dining. And Tima got so fed up with Chidinma's ill treatment, and for the first time she spoke back at her. "What is wrong with you?" she said. "You left your husband's house only to cause trouble in mine. You said I have only girls, but you don't have one to show that you're a woman. I'm sure your husband drove you out of the house. That's why you're here pretending to have come for holidays. You think I don't know?" Chidinma was so mad and tried to slap Tammy, but Tammy held her hand and gave her a very hot slap. She pushed her down and beat her until she was satisfied. "At least, even if your brother beats me when he returns, I have satisfied my long desire to beat you up. Now I'm ready for you and all your useless sisters and your witch of a mother, including your brother." Chidinma was as cold as someone who had just had an ice bath. She sat quietly pondering on what had happened. So this girl is this strong. So she can now stand up for herself. That means we are all in trouble, she said in her heart. After the beating she received, she couldn't give situation report to her mom and sisters as usual. She never expected what she saw. When Ike returned, just as expected, he tried to beat Tima after Chidinma had lied to him. But she said, "If you try it, I'll pack my things and leave with my kids. And you will never see us. Don't think I'll return to the village. I will be in the city. And I will survive. And you, Ike, you will suffer because I will curse you." Ike's hand immediately dropped like a branch of tree that had been felled down by an engine saw. He was speechless. This girl has been talking to someone. And who could that be? Ike said. He had never seen her in that fashion. Ike had been saving some money in a monthly contribution, which he would collect at the end of the year. He wanted to use the money for a building project. It was a lot of money. The woman who he does the savings with usually comes on a monthly basis to collect the money. She had previously advised Ike about his behavior towards his wife, but he wouldn't listen. Ike talked so much about his savings for the building project. He made a lot of noise about it. Tima often advised him to keep it to himself. "Don't let anyone know, including your sisters and your mom." "How dare you talk about my mom and sisters in that manner? Are you mad?" "I know what I'm saying," Tima insisted. "They don't love you as much as you think. If they love you, they will advise you to work on your marriage and not tear it down themselves. I saw them doing something terrible to you in my dreams." But Ike didn't believe her. Rather, he dismissed her. "Leave my presence this minute," he said. When Chidinma found out about the money, she quickly called her mom and told her. The next day, Chidinma traveled to the village to see her mom. Her sisters were already there. They started planning on how to get the money. "How do we get the money? We need to do something to him so that when he is out of the way, we can collect the money from the savings woman." "So how do we get him out of the way?" Chidinma asked. "Let's kill him," Mama Ike said. And the girls shouted, "Mom!" in shock of what their mom had said. "How can you even think of killing your own son?" "Shut up! Who told you he's my son? What do you mean? Is he not our brother?" "No, he's not." I was at the risk of losing my marriage because of a male child. After giving birth to 2 daughters, that is your elder sisters, I was told by my in-laws that if I give birth to another female, I would be sent out of the house. I had to come up with a plan. I had an arrangement with a nurse to help me scout for a newborn male child that I could buy. So she met a very poor woman who was pregnant with twins, and she arranged to sell one of her babies for an agreed amount of money. When the nurse told me about the woman, I was very happy. I was pregnant at about the same time as the woman, and I was carrying another female child. Just 3 days after the woman gave birth, I also had my third girl, but unfortunately, she died, and the son I bought was brought in place of my late child. Your father never had problems with me giving birth to girls, but his family was a thorn in my flesh. When your father returned from his trip and saw his son, he was very happy. His family then accepted me, even though I gave birth to another female, you Chidima, but the headache wasn't that much anymore because they had seen a male child. Mama, and you kept this from us all this while. It's my secret and not yours. No wonder it doesn't look like any of us, they said. I have kept it all these years. I don't even know where the nurse is. I haven't met the woman before, and she doesn't even know me. I only sent the money, so my secret had been pretty safe. I don't want anyone to know about this. Mama. Don't you trust us? Mama Ike went to see an herbalist who gave her a charm, and she gave it to Chidima to take along with her to the city. It is meant to be added to his meal, and it will slowly drain the living life out of him. The next day, Chidima prepared Ike's food by herself and added the substance. After 3 days, Ike started feeling feverish. He was tired and couldn't go to work. After a week, it became severe. Chidima gave situation report to her mom and sisters about the current condition of Ike, and they were very happy as they spoke on phone. Mama Ike called Ike and told him to come to the village so she could take care of him by herself. But Tima had already spoken with the savings woman, who was a devout Christian and prayed a lot. She had stopped by and prayed for him, and he was already getting better when his mother asked him to come to the village. Tima warned him not to go to the village. I don't have a good feeling about this your travel. Remember I told you that I saw your mom and sisters did something terrible to you. They actually killed you in that dream. Please don't go. But he didn't believe her. How can my own mother and sisters that love me so much kill me? You're just saying nonsense, Ike said. When Tima saw that she couldn't convince him, she called the savings woman and she begged her to speak with him. She spoke with him and also confirmed what Tima had seen. Ike, I have equally seen something similar. Please, I too don't have a good feeling about this, your travel. Please don't go. But Ike didn't listen. 2 days later, Ike went to the village and his health that was already getting better became worse because Mama Ike cooked with the substance for him. Ike's father had died at the age of 75 and had been buried, so there was really no one to stop them. They wanted to take everything he had, including the savings money and the furniture company, and then send Tima and her kids away, empty. 7 days later, Ike died. Tima and her daughters were summoned to the village before the elders and Ike's kinsmen. Her mother and sisters-in-law had accused her of poisoning her husband and sending him to the village to die. She was summoned before the village priest and some incantations were made, and she was given maximum of 3 months to die if she was guilty and if she didn't confess. Mama Ike and her daughters went to the city and packed all of Ike's belongings, including all the furnitures in the shop, leaving Tima and her daughters with nothing. They couldn't find the documents of the company and the house, so they took everything they could lay hold of. When Tima returned, she met an empty house. She cried, "Where do I start from? No money, no business, no help." Meanwhile, Ike's mom had already called the savings woman and requested for the money, but the woman told her that the money had legal grounds to remain with her until the set time he was supposed to take it. Tima called the savings woman and explained everything to her. Ma, I don't even have food to eat. They took everything. I met a completely empty building, including the goods in the furniture shop. She was surprised. This is wickedness, she said. I'll make sure they don't get a hold of this money. Let them go with everything. Do you know where the documents of the company are? Yes, Tima responded, as if I knew. When Ike traveled, I was moved to hide the documents, so I gave them to a neighbor to keep for me, including the documents of the house where we live. Good. This is your starting point. You will sell the company building and sell the empty house they left, and I will relocate you to another city. I will help you buy an apartment for you and your kids with the money and set up any business of your choice for you so you can start from there. You can live a better life with your kids for once. And then she gave her some food items to eat with her kids. While Tima was feeling sorry for her husband who had met his early grave because of his stubbornness, Ike appeared to her crying and begging her for her forgiveness. I know it's too late now, but please forgive me. I should have listened to you. I thought they loved me. I never knew they could be this wicked. I'm sorry for the way I maltreated you. You deserved more and I'm sorry. I have forgiven you. I wish you are alive to love me and your kids like we've always longed for. But now you're gone. She kept crying, and before she knew it, he disappeared and she woke up. It was a dream. She cried profusely. Ike, I warned you, but you didn't listen. Now you're dead, she kept crying. That night, he appeared to her again, telling her to do as the savings woman had said and leave the environment, else they will kill her and her kids. They will pay for everything, he said, and she woke up again. It was a dream. Mama Ike called the woman again and made a lot of trouble with her, telling her to bring her son's money, else she will look for her and deal with her. Or else what, you heartless woman? Do you want to kill me like you and your daughters killed an innocent man because of your greed? And then you took everything away from that poor orphan with 3 kids. Where do you want her to go to with the kids? I will expose you if you call me again about this money. You've taken everything. This money is for Tima and her 3 daughters. Neither the woman nor Tima had proof of what Ike's mom and sisters did to Ike, but they knew his mom and sisters had killed him because they had seen it in their dreams. Mama Ike became scared. How did she know that it was I and my daughters that killed Ike? She tried to kill the savings woman, but the herbalist told her to leave her alone if she didn't want to die. Your daughter-in-law is now under her coverage. You've taken enough, so let her be. While Mama Ike was returning from the herbalist's place, not satisfied with what the herbalist had said, in her heart she was still thinking of how to kill the woman and Tima, when something like a lightning struck her and she fell down and screamed, please don't kill me, don't kill me. And the next thing, she ran mad and started confessing everything she did while she was running. 7 days later, she died. Chidima and her sisters were sent out of their husbands' houses back to the village, and they were equally banished from their village because they supported their evil mother. They wandered about, moving from place to place with no rest for their bodies, spirit, and soul. Tima was taken to another city. The savings woman bought a beautiful apartment for her and her kids, and a very big supermarket was also given to her. The kids attended a good school. She went back to school and later graduated as an economist. Years later, Tima married the savings woman's elder brother, who was a widower. He was a very wealthy and influential man. He also had 2 grown-up daughters who were married already. Tima later gave birth to twin boys. She was treated like she was the only woman in the whole world. She was so blessed that the years of her suffering could not be remembered. Everyone in the family loved her, including his daughters and siblings. and his daughters treated her like their mother. All her years of hardship became a stepping stone to a beautiful end. Moral lessons. Whatever seed you sow, you will reap it. It doesn't matter how long evil prevails, judgment will catch up with you when you least expect it. When you feel like you're too wise for advice, you feel certain kind of people are not good enough to talk to you, even though you know what they are saying is the truth. Be careful. That's pride. And the Bible says pride goes before a fall. Ike fell because he was proud. Pride blinds the eyes from the truth. It is very destructive. He was so engrossed with it that he couldn't see because it blocked his eyes and ears. Sometimes life might get so tough that it seems like there's no hope. Yet, even in our darkest moments, God is still standing beside us. Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose." Though your beginning was small, yet your later end will greatly increase. Job 8 verse 7. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed creating it. Like, share, and comment on the lessons you've learned. Let me know where you're watching from. God bless you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.